Mark, you know what we haven't done in a while?
Put out a good podcast.
We haven't done a giveaway.
We ain't done a giveaway in a while.
No. So for the month of September, I came up with an idea.
What do you got?
We've been putting cash in the urn. We'll
Right.
keep doing that.
All right.
I'll get a different urn. Let's give away the urn.
Full cash?
Not full of cash. Something even better.
Come on.
Kane's been in the studio.
Right.
So what I did was I had Kane sign the urn. Maybe I can convince you to sign it as well.
I think we can do that.
We're going to give it away to one lucky fan. All you have to do,
What do you got to do? Tell me.
go over to our Spotify, give us a follow, a 5-star review, and leave a comment. It can be any comment. We don't care. Undertaker's great. Brothers of Destruction, greatest tag team ever.
Right.
Matt sucks. Whatever. We don't care what you write in there. Just leave a comment, a 5-star review, and follow the Spotify page. That's all you have to do.
That's easy peasy.
Not a dollar needs to be spent.
Not a dime.
And you'll have a chance to win this urn signed by the Brothers of Destruction.
I don't know that I knew that was
Henry
what the O was.
Godwin.
So I thought it was just O. I thought it was
I
just
always
Henry O. Godwin.
I think that I think I may have known it meant something. I never knew.
And then
Orpheus?
Orpheus. Orifice.
Orifice.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Henry Orifice Godwin.
First of all, our guest today, the man, the myth, the legend, the hillbilly lover.
The hillbilly lover in the house, baby.
People know him as Henry Godwin.
I know him.
Glad to be here, man.
HBL, baby.
HBL, Mr. Mark Canterbury.
Hey, man, thanks for
Glad
joining
to be
us.
here. Yeah, you know I wouldn't miss it.
This
I'd have
is-
crawled.
Oh, them Death Row records from Happy Dad.
Oh, Dad, I love you.
Yeah, you got the tea there, the hard iced tea.
Hard iced tea. Happy
What's
Dad.
the flavor on that one? You want me to look at it?
Original.
Original? Okay.
Very tasty.
Do you need to get him a tasty one just with some flavor?
I just handed him one, and he just went at it.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, they got a peach one right here. Peach.
Oh, there I go. I got me
tea.
a peach. You got
Yeah.
another one? Okay, we're good.
Oh,
I
this is
figured,
first form
figured
here.
you'd like a peach.
Okay, so I'm just going to sit back and allow you guys to have at it. Let's start with this.
What?
How did this come about? When did this happen? When did you guys run across each other?
Well,
You can start it. Yeah.
when'd you start? 93?
90, end of 94.
Yeah,
I was there for the Lawrence Taylor thing.
that's right.
I was down at Times Square when we had the ring set up at Times Square.
That's right. 94. Crap, man. I ain't got many left from around. It was around in 94. 30 years. 30 years. That's crazy.
I guess, is he second longest friend from the business behind Godfather?
Well, no, because,
Because you left WCW right before I got.
right before you got there, right?
And we were both mean marks.
Yeah. I was so mean. I was
a toughie.
I was so mean. Old mean Mark Callis. Somebody sent me a picture of one of my like a photo. It was me and Teddy Long. It may have been you. You're the only one that sends me photos. It was me and Teddy Long doing our publicity shots.
Yeah.
The first day I looked at it, I said, "Damn, looked like Sammy Davis Jr. and Opie Taylor on steroids."
That's terrible.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my.
And then I started thinking to myself, I was like, well, man, maybe Ole had something there. Maybe if I had to change the gimmick, I was, that red hair made me look tough. Not a tattoo on me.
No.
No, nary a tattoo.
Clean slate. Right?
Yeah. Little did I know the cliff I was about to walk off of.
Yeah. So like end of 95 is when I started up there.
Yeah, that's right.
Beginning
Jeez.
of 95, sorry. End of 94, beginning of 95. I think at the end of 94 is when I flew up and met with Vince and JJ.
Right. Did you meet him did you go to the office? Did you go to the house? Yeah.
The office.
Yeah.
And then we went in that little back office.
Mm-hmm. And you took care of things?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 3 hours back there.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it was fun, man. It was, just come from WCW. I was telling, Tex last night that
This is going to be a long day.
This is typical. Some things will never change.
I'm sorry. Where were we going with
And
this?
people know we batch shoot, and we just had, Kane on,
Yeah.
in studio, and now
Yeah, we
Big Kane, yeah.
the professional you guys in the studio.
the mayor.
The man.
So you come from WCW. You come
come
up to
WCW. Matter of fact, me and Phineas and Triple H got let go at the same time. I came up. The first person I rode with, I knew nobody because down there, there's a lot of the older guys, and I feel like Vince was pushing younger guys at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Flair just brought everybody back, the whole crew, and it felt like more of like a family atmosphere. Like, man, how can people want to help me up here? They're giving me advice. Where down there, Arn told me and Phineas, he said, you guys are too good at getting people over all the time.
It's a curse.
He said, you may need to go up north. So when we got our papers, I was on it.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I had so much more of an opportunity. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun. It was a learning experience. We did get used and abused there a little bit, but it was good because it was a learning experience for us.
Well,
But,
yeah, and that's the thing back then. You needed the territory. That was the best thing about the system when you come up, is that you had these different places to go and work. I mean, there's still a few different companies, but it wasn't like it was like the different territories that you could go and spend 8 months to a year there and then move somewhere else. And then you learn a different style. Like, because Texas was different than Tennessee, and Tennessee was different than Florida. So you go and you pick up little bits here and there, and then hopefully by the time you get to the show,
Dallas Sportatorium.
the Sportatorium. You learn. Yeah, I learned how to get my butt kicked really good at the Dallas Sportatorium.
And I learned that was the hardest damn mat I've ever made.
Oh, the thing
was built in, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was built in. It was the hardest ring and the shortest ropes.
Yes.
The ropes were really short. Like, I had really have to fall into them or I would flip over them.
Yeah, it was like taking this rug and just throwing it on concrete.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. Even the chairs, like I tell the story all the time about getting hit with that chair from Brody. That thing was metal with wood slats, and my gosh, I still get a little PT.
We wrestled there in WCW one night, and Rude had so much heat one night. There was actually a gunshot went off. I don't know if you ever heard about that. Dustin remembers it. There was a lot. Tex probably remembers it. There was a lot of the boys there that night that there was a gunshot.
For WCW?
For WCW.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We wrestled at the Sportatorium.
Yeah, that's heat, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that had to have been what? That had been what?
That was 93.
93 is a little late for gunshots in the wrestling business to still be going off, right? That's
92, 93 when we were at the Sportatorium.
And this was Rick Rude?
Rude.
He got that much heat?
Yeah. And there was a gunshot. Didn't shoot nobody, but shot a gun during his match.
Gee, did you ever experience? I mean, I've heard the stories of guys getting stabbed and stuff on their way to the ring, and just stuff like. I mean, you've told some crazy wild stories.
We had a couple things like the Chicago thing. I don't know if you remember it when that guy spit in my face and we pulled him over the ring. And you remember we used to have the. Our security was off-duty cops and firefighters, and they did not freaking play.
No, they would just
They said they beat the brakes off this guy on the way back to the ambulance.
Way back in the day, if you knew the security, they would pull them back in the back room, and you get to go see them for a little bit.
You got to go have a conversation.
Them guys were hardcore. Yeah, they were good guys. They were great to us.
Yeah, they were. Not in this day and age, you couldn't do it. But
no, that's a little.
You had to pay the price for. If you were going to be that stupid, you had to pay the price.
Yeah,
somewhat.
It's got to be a little consequence.
You got to be you do stupid things. There's got to be consequences. Right. That's how you learn.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Exactly. That's exactly.
But back to us getting together.
Yeah. So
me and you had that match one night. And I got to thank you. You give me a lot. We beat the piss out of each other. But
yeah, I was working, and he was like, I owed him money. Kept be a recurring theme. Him, Bradshaw, they just beat the snot out of me. I think they get so worked up, they would get nervous, like, crap, I got to work with the Undertaker, that they just like, lay it in. I'm like, good Lord.
Receipt time.
Well, no, yeah, but I tried. Yeah, that was, when you see somebody, it's like when you see somebody that potentially you could work with down the line.
I just mentioned it on a podcast. I said, I didn't know a lot of people.
A real podcast.
A little teeny podcast, a baby pod, not this one.
No, this one is we're faking it until we make it.
But I was saying, I didn't really know anybody, and I was trying to fit in, and I come back, and he catches me and says, damn, we got to work together again. So that made me feel good, And then after the Hunter match, after the Hogpen match, when Vince comes, and he's saying, man, y'all pulled that shit off, and I think the boys all thought it was going to be a ha-ha match.
Yeah,
the Hogpen match.
It wasn't. Y'all beat the hell.
Life,
you did scar him for life. He still got the scar on his back from
15 stitches.
There's slop everywhere. He caught his back on something. I don't remember what it was.
The fence.
Oh, it was
he
on the
threw me in the gate, and it was a panel gate, and it bent, and then it had them sharp edges. Well, I threw him in the gate, and it just
sliced him wide
open
open
down the back. And I didn't know, and I had pressed him, and all that all day long and dirt.
He slammed him right in it.
We thought he was going to come up with some new swine disease.
Bovine swine.
That's where COVID started.
Yeah. Oh, could have. Very well could have. Very well could have. But yeah, it was nasty. That was nasty. But that was a hell of a match. So
yeah, that was fun. Yeah. So for the Slammies that year, it was it was very satisfying.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, you could definitely go. I mean, you definitely carried the weight of your team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is he playing music over there?
I don't know what he's doing. I think he's on Tinder or something.
It is his music is so loud right now. That's all I hear right now is his music playing.
I think he's on somebody's Only's fan. I don't know.
If that's what helps him distract him for about an hour.
Yeah, he's looking at pictures of toes.
But I've been waiting to tell this.
Uh-oh.
When we first got together.
Hey, this was a nice handyman moment.
Paul Bear is being extremely nice to me. I'm like, what?
I know this is a lie already.
So I've been riding with him a little bit, and it's TV, and me and Paul go get our food. He's done got his food. So I get my plate. I'm full. I got my drink. Now he's working me, and I didn't figure it out at first because I'm still sort of green. And he goes, can you carry this? It's a bowl of
cucumbers.
Yes. I didn't know if he'd get hot if I said it, but
the word itself.
The word itself.
Just soaking in vinegar.
So here's Paul. He goes, shit, Mark loves cucumbers, and I told him I'd get him some. So I go back, I set my shit down, I walk to Mark, we're all sitting at this table.
That's how evil
I set him down. He flips the shit out on me. I'm like, holy shit, what do I do? And Paul's over there.
He's evil, I'm telling you. People do not understand how evil Paul Bear was. That man,
yes,
and he is innocent. You don't have. I mean, it is when you go to a new company, and you hadn't been there very long. It's really awkward unless you have friends there. That's when you started talking. That's when when I went there, I knew no one.
Yeah,
I didn't know anybody there. And it's a really awkward. It's an awkward time, right? You got to make friends. It's like in high school again. You got to make friends all over, and nobody wants to be your friend because they're all worried about you taking their spot. And but that's so funny with Paul though. That's just. I'm getting hot just thinking about it because he's just oblivious. He don't know. He didn't know me from Adam. Doesn't know. Not at that time.
You had no idea the cucumbers
was a thing with me. No.
Oh hell no! I mean, we'd just been riding together a few days, and I think Paul in his Dominican little mind was thinking, what can I do to take her and use Henry.
Well, you got so I don't know if this is the same time, but you remember, like I said, if Paul didn't like, and it was the same when he was with Glenn. Paul didn't like anybody else to get in the car. Like he was set in his ways, and if I didn't like give him a really long heads up for him to take time to cope with the fact that somebody was getting in the car with us. So we had been traveling. Paul and I had been traveling. And I don't know, somewhere you needed a ride.
Yeah.
And I said, no, come jump in with me and Paul. So Paul, again, like we went to the same towns, we went to the same restaurants.
Yeah.
And there happened to be a Chinese food place
restaurant
in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And so Paul's already pissed because I invited Mark into the car, didn't tell Paul. Said, hey, Mark's going to catch a ride with us, and I think it might have been just to the venue in Pittsburgh, and already he blows up like a puffer fish. He's pissed, right? And let me backtrack. So we'd been talking like Paul Bear like gets excited about. He loved this Chinese food place out by the airport in Pittsburgh. That's all he's talked about for 3 days.
Yeah, like if you go to Pittsburgh, you got to
go to that restaurant.
That's the way it was then.
Yes, yeah, right. So anyway, so we're in Pittsburgh now. Mark's got in the car with us, and I know he wants to go to this Chinese food place, and I was like, "Y'all getting hungry?" Oh yeah, And now Paul's pissed. And this one, smiling just like that, is sitting. He's sitting up on the back seat.
Like a little kid.
Just like a little kid, right? He's sitting up there and he's grabbing us by the neck and everything, carrying on. And Paul is just beside himself. And I was like, Mark, I said, what you want to eat, man? And he goes, that KFC over there is fine, right? I was like,
and you have no idea
he's oblivious.
This is oblivious. I'm just loving being with these two.
He is oblivious to any of it, and I am just stoking
trying to
the
be
fire.
easy.
And he's serious as shit. He's serious. He's promoting it good to me.
He's like, oh, okay. It's been a while since we had KFC, huh, Paul? I said, let's hit that KFC. And he's talking under his breath now. He's like, I just want to eat Chinese food. Now we damn hog wants to eat. He's mumbling under his breath.
Red.
Oh my
steam
God!
coming out of the ears.
He didn't talk to me. I bet again 2 maybe 3 days he didn't talk to me, and he was so upset about not getting to eat Chinese food, and we ate. And I knew he wanted that Chinese food so bad. And Mark was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was just like,
you're just trying to be a nice guy.
Huh? You know? He come around.
No, he comes around. Yeah, no, he just had to show his butt a little bit at first. He didn't like Mark. He didn't like Brian. When I put Brian in the car with us sometimes, then he called him Pineapple there forever. And
yeah.
Godfather was Pappy. Pappy riding with us today? I was like, no, Pappy's got another ride today. Because if I'd have put Dennis in there with us,
wow. He would have committed suicide.
Paul would have killed himself. He'd have took me first. He'd have took me out first.
Hey everyone, with the football season kicking off, it's the perfect time to dive into the action with my partners at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. And right now, all new customers who bet $5 will instantly get $250 in bonus bets, plus get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. That's something we can all celebrate. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code 6feet. The crown is yours. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. Stay in the action and use the $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns.
How long was it after you went up to WWE, WWF back then, before you guys made a connection and started riding together?
I
and all that
rode
stuff?
with Jeff Jarrett the first night. took me right in because he didn't have nobody to ride with, and
Yeah,
had he been up
nobody
there a
liked him.
while? Huh?
I'm just playing.
I didn't hear it.
I said nobody liked him. I'm totally playing. I'm just get you more heat.
That's cool.
So yeah, I started riding with him, and then Tom Pritchard rode with us some, and then Road Dog started, and then it was me and Road Dog and Jeff. Then they started doing their thing, so we had that match, and it wasn't soon after that I started riding with you guys.
Yeah.
So it was just a few months,
Yeah.
and then Yoko and everybody.
Yeah, then he got into the mix and like, all right, man, I guess he's all right. I guess
So
he's riding with you.
I proved myself, I guess. And then you know, I had to drive. I drove Yoko a lot.
You did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you and Yoko were already
Oh yeah,
tight at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's Yoko, Rikishi, Godfather, and me are the BSK at that point.
Yeah.
And I think you came in
Yeah.
was the fifth, and Savio.
Then the sponsor.
The
sponsor.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
still don't
we
know
were
how-
talking about that bar last night. There was a DJ over in the corner, about 5 feet off the ground, and there was hardly anybody in there. It was just a little dive, and we're sitting at a square table. I felt like the Sopranos, man. And Yoko goes, "So you sponsoring this fool?"
Yeah, dude, that's how Yoke talk. So what? So what?
I said,
you
"Yeah."
sponsoring this fool or what?
So I said, "Yeah." So he drank his fifth that night and walked out of there, and the rest is history, man.
Yeah, man.
Was there any initiation for you into BSK?
No, I think I was just too cool.
Yeah, he was all right. He fit right into
Yeah.
into the scheme of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were the most eclectic group. We were
very
absolutely.
diverse.
Yeah, we were diverse before diverse was a thing.
Yeah.
But we'll never get any credit for that. But
No,
anyhow, not that we need it. But
I think that group could have run the country. To be honest, I'm just saying.
we definitely ran. We ran a lot.
The judge,
Oh,
wrestler's court.
my goodness. Yeah, we had we were talking with Glenn about wrestler court. What do you have any courts that stick out?
I don't remember. The only thing I thought may have come to court didn't was when Mabel splashed me.
Well, I took care of that on the spot.
They didn't need
We were filling him on that story. We were having a battle royal. I think it was in Nashville.
No, it was in Fresno, I think. Fresno, California.
Fresno.
I think it was
And
Fresno,
I remember
California.
the little WWE doctor had glasses, gray hair, little guy.
Rios? Was it
Maybe
Dr. Rios?
Maybe it was.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm laying in the middle of the ring during a
Battle Royal.
and Mabel takes it upon himself to splash me, and
That's a no-no, by the way. When you have that many people.
shooting somebody off and splashing. So I crawled out of the ring, couldn't breathe. I mean, and they helped me to the back, laid in the floor. The little doc shooting me up in the ass with Toradol, and then he comes in and sees me laying there and like, what the happened? And I'm in pretty bad pain, and they're telling him, and he starts taking his gear off, and here comes the white tape wrapping the hands. I said, "Oh my God!" And everybody's like clearing back. Here comes Mabel, and people step in, and that was about it.
That was,
It was a little crazy.
Had a little conversation.
we had a little conversation.
conversation.
This time I'd already had my eye socket crushed,
Yeah.
and there were a few other people that had got hurt too. Like he had done some really like silly things. He was a sweet person. He was a good person.
yeah.
He really was. But he did some stupid things that kind of I wouldn't even say that he was taking liberties. Like I don't know that it was malicious, but it was dumb, and it doesn't matter when you you're in the ring. Like there's just certain things you're supposed to know.
Right.
And splashing somebody, you can't. You're not prepared. Like if you know that somebody's going to splash you, then you're kind of prepared, and you can tighten your body up a little bit to kind of protect yourself. In a battle royal, if you're laying there, you're not expecting
helpless.
somebody, especially 500, 600 pounds to come splash you in your lower back. And so it was just kind
And it's one thing to be his size. I mean, Yoko was a big man too, but I feel like Yoko
Oh my God,
just
Yoko
knew how to
was
work, right?
So athletic.
Versus a guy like Mabel.
Yoke defied. You would watch Yoko work, especially when he first came up.
Yeah,
You would see him and you would not believe what he could do.
I
He
remember.
was just
I
so
remember watching.
smooth.
He was.
He could throw a Savat or the sweet chin music, whatever you want to call it, that kick, that side kick. He could throw it up to anybody and hit him right in the chin. I mean, it was just so smooth, and he was so agile. Man, he was special.
Because it's one thing to sit there and look at Mabel and be like, hey, man, you need to lose some weight. You need to do this. But then you look at a Yoko and you're like, well, if you know what you're doing.
Well, there's a lot to be said about having conditioning. I don't care how gifted you are.
Yeah.
If you're not conditioned, then you pose a risk if you're blowed up to a point where you can't control what's happening in the ring. And years later, we end up in Quito, Ecuador, and Quito, Ecuador. But the altitude is so high up there, it's like you could barely breathe.
Yeah.
Like we took a gondola up to this volcano. It was me, Michelle, and Mark Henry. And I remember Mark getting off of the gondola, and he took about 3 or 4 steps, and he said, I'll wait on you guys here. Because we had like another 150-yard walk to get to the crater, so we could look inside the volcano.
Yeah.
Mark was done. And I got to the building that night, and I look on the sheet, and it's got Viscera or Mabel or whatever he was at the time versus Undertaker. And I went to Mike Chioda, and I said, all right, this is what you tell him. I said, tell him at ding, ding, ding to come at me. I'm going to duck his clothesline. When he turns around, I'm going to choke slam him, and we're going home. And I was waiting for some kind of pushback. I never got it. Visser was never more okay with a finish.
It is life.
Dude, look, I'm making my way to the ring. I'm on my way. I'm walking to the ring. He's already made his entrance, and I'm looking. My hat's down. I'm looking underneath my hat, and I can see him, and I can see just by walking to the ring, he's he's heaving.
That's not good.
And I'm like, I might have to cut that duck out. I might have to go straight into this thing. But I mean, I remember as he was hitting off of the choke slam, and he was hitting, and I was going to cross his arms. He was going, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
No time wasted.
It was like, no, man, it was bad. Whew. It was really bad. That I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I need to lose another eye socket because of this.
The one you took is good enough.
My gosh.
When you came up to WWE, did you go straight into singles, or were you into tag team? You were a singles wrestler at that point.
Yeah, matter of fact, Shane had flown down and did my vignettes down there in Tennessee. We went to an old farmer, had a bunch of hogs running around. I say, hey, can we use your farm for the day, 6-8 hours? I said, yeah, here's $300. You thought that old man had won the lottery. In his overalls, his old straw hat, tall, skinny, looked like String Bean off of Hee Haw. And just
Do you know what Hee Haw is?
You don't know what Hee Haw is, do
Minnie
you?
Pearl died on my birthday.
All right.
All right.
Junior Samples, BR549.
BR5.
You don't talk like this and not know what Hee Haw is. all right?
You're a little young.
You can't sound like me and know what Hee Haw.
Not know who.
Where was Hee Haw filmed?
Where was the Hee Haw film? I don't know.
California.
California is a place you ought to be. Where?
Backstage at the Grand Ole Opry.
Was it really?
Yep, they filmed it right there at the stage at the Grand Ole
I
Opry.
was going to go with Nashville and
Yep.
California.
I'll be dang. You learn something new every day.
There you go, bud.
Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone?
We're going off the rails already.
I'm just saying,
Easy, happy day.
there ain't nobody watching our show has a clue what he all is. They're gonna be Googling all night. Like, damn, them boys is old.
See, y'all at a hog farm in Nashville.
Huh?
You're at a hog farm there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Doing the
Went to
vignettes.
the hog farm. The old man thought he'd won the lottery. He loved it. Sat on his porch that day and watched us. We did the vignettes, and it started soon after that.
Shane was with you?
Shane, yeah, he flew down with the camera guy, and
How'd that go out there on the
it
hog
was
farm
fun,
with Shane? Yeah.
hell, I was
Shane,
bringing
like
slop out there. And
Shane, like he had been around a pig somewhere at some point in his life.
Nah,
Only
not
pig he'd
really.
been around was his bacon he had for breakfast.
But yeah, we did the vignettes, man. It was an awesome time, and
Was that character that hog? Was that something that Vince came up with, or was that something that you pitched the idea, or
well, I pitched the idea because I grew up like that.
Yeah.
And so, I drove a truck, farmed, worked on the psych floor, worked in the hospital. And he said, "Oh, what about the farming? What kind of animals you got?" I said, "We got cows and chickens, and we raise a lot of hogs." And man, when I said that, it was like, bing. He said, "What do you do to the hogs?" I said, "Well, we slop them.
Don't tell everything.
And then we have to cut them a little bit." And then
Castrate them
just
suckers.
the boars.
Breeding.
And we do it, and on the farm, there's a lot of making bacon going on there. So we raise pigs, and but yeah, he went with that idea, and he goes, he wanted my initials to be HOG, so that's how he come up. And somebody in his family is named Orpheus. He told me.
I don't doubt that. That doesn't
Orpheus.
It
surprise
was like a great uncle or his grandfather or somebody in the family. Their name is Orpheus. So that
I
was
don't
my
know
name.
that I knew that was
Henry
what the O
Orpheus
was.
Godwin.
So I thought it was just O. I thought it was
I
just
always
Henry
I
O.
think,
Godwin.
I think
yeah.
that I think I may have known it meant something. I never knew.
And then
Orpheus.
Orpheus. Orifice.
Orifice.
That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Henry Orifice Godwin. What?
Mr. Orpheus.
Mr. Orifice, your order's ready.
There's a hole in that story somewhere. What?
Oh!
I'll be here all week.
Sounds
Remember,
fishy to me.
That is that's some wrestling trivia right there.
That is. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so the O is Orpheus.
Yeah. And, told him about, we have big buckets of slop. You save over a week's time, take them down, slop the hogs. And, man, when I said that, it was like he was getting into it. So,
Dad, damn, man. Oh, get a bucket of slop.
yeah.
This is gonna
Pour
be
it on
great.
them. Oh, God. They're going to slop. Damn it. I smell the money.
And I sent you the drawing.
Yeah.
The other day, I cleaned a building out.
Yeah.
I found a box. It had my original drawing of Henry O. Godwin from the development.
The storyboards.
Yeah,
The storyboards.
He
of,
texted me the
It
pictures of it. Yeah.
says 1094, and it's got the signature of the person who come up with it. And it's got this good-looking guy with pork chops instead of a beard, which after I grew the beard, Vince liked the beard. So we just went with that. But it's got me holding a slop bucket, and it says hog across here and hog across my hat. It's got, this arm's got a rope with a hog, got a collar on. I'm leading it around. So that's pretty much how it all started.
dude, what if they had give you like a real pig to be your partner instead of
His name
Pig.
was Dennis Knight.
Instead of pig.
Instead of pig, what if they'd give you a real pig? Could you imagine having to travel
That
with a
would have
real
been.
pig?
horrible.
I mean, Jake traveled with the big old python. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
could you imagine?
That would have been on the ring crew, right?
It'd have been on a spigot somewhere. It'd have been on. We'd
Probably
hate that
you
sucker.
may have won the title.
We'd have hated that. There's no way that pig would have made
Somewhere
it.
along the line.
You may have won the titles 3 times instead of just twice. I mean, if you had
Exactly.
I mean, you already carried the team, right? I mean, that was the thing.
And Phineas, he was his initials were Pig.
Yeah.
Phineas Ike Godwin, but he recently changed it to Phineas Indica Godwin. So I
Indica.
don't know where that comes from. But
Indica?
Indica.
Indica.
Yeah.
Is it indigo? Indica? Indica.
Indica weed.
Indigo.
Indigo weed.
Yeah.
Indica. That's
Indica.
his new name. He changed it.
Yeah.
Legally?
I think so.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, my, that's the weirdest.
We'll get to that part when we get him.
That's the weirdest part about booking the hotel rooms when you have to give, Phineas Indigo.
Indigo Godwin.
The lady's like, excuse me.
Do you? Speaking of which, we talked about this when he was on the first time. Do you remember the night in Tampa when the frogs were attacking you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was thinking about it a lot yesterday.
He came to Pigeon Forge to see me a couple weeks ago for our grand opening, and he got to meet some of the coworkers and everything. We're sitting outside, and I mentioned this story. And it's everyone's. Once you left, everyone's just sitting there and they're like, "Who is that guy?"
Really?
They're like, "What in the world?" I was
Pulled
like,
it off then.
I was like, "That's Undertaker's buddy." So what about what happened with that night?
It was after a show, and it was me and Phineas and Marcus here, and we went to. It was like a hut, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was some beach bar kind of deal.
Yeah, but our room was pretty cool where we were staying.
Oh no, yeah. So it was the I think it's the Airport Hyatt in Tampa, and they had bungalows.
Bungalows,
they had bungalows in the back, and I think at the time we had a hookup. So yeah, so we had these private rooms in the back. It looked like and it was right on the bay, and it was real
all nice flowers. I mean, it was beautiful.
Had pond, like koi ponds and everything.
Yeah. So we go get checked in, and I forgot something in the car. Well, while we were in there, Tex said, "Here, try this little piece of paper. Put it under your tongue." I said, "Come on, Tex." So we tried it.
Famous last words. Come on, Tex.
So, we're having a few beers, just talking about the night, eating. I can go out to the car. So they got these concrete bridges with no railing or nothing, but they're wide enough. They're about 3 or 4 foot wide. You go over
the koi ponds.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I walked out, all I heard was them daggone frogs.
little tree frogs.
And then I remember, there's dangerous, poisonous frogs down here too.
Oh, killers.
In Florida.
Tree frogs.
They're horrible. They're horrible, man.
And they're jumping around and
Been known to kill.
giants.
Giants.
So I run back in with nothing in my hands, and they start laughing. So
What were you seeing?
it wasn't really so much what I was seeing, it's what I was hearing. It was magnified.
Sometimes
and,
the imagination is far greater.
I thought
than,
the frogs were about that big.
and they were hungry.
They sounded, and they was hungry.
So, Taker talks a lot about these stories and stuff. What are some good BSK stories involving the big man over here that our audience you think would
I may not be allowed to
that
tell
won't
them.
that won't get him in trouble anyway,
Oh man, I didn't do anything.
Oh my God, I'd have to think on that for a second.
You were in. Were you in the Philippines with us
Yeah, Singapore and Manila.
when we took over the bar up in that where everybody's shirts come off? And
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good time. I think I've talked about
Yeah,
that.
you've talked about that on here
Yeah.
before.
Bear got
yeah.
up on stage and was singing the
Yes.
blues.
Yes.
But they put us in that VIP section.
VIP section.
You remember, what was his name? He was with The Office, like the internet. Andrew Whitaker.
Yes.
I remember him coming up to me and he's like, Taker, you got to tell everybody to put their shirts back on. And I'm there with my shirt off already, too, right? Like, these are grown ass men. I said, you want to tell them to put their shirts on? You tell them to put their shirts on.
I remember that.
I'm not doing it. And he was like, I think he just left.
I remember that.
But we weren't causing any trouble. We were having fun.
Yeah.
We weren't picking on anybody. We had our section. We stayed in. We spent a ton of money.
Mark,
Yes, sir.
our great sponsor here, Artisan Grange. We've talked about them for a while now. These guys got a little CBD pouch, 5 milligrams, great flavors.
Which flavor is this?
This is the wintergreen. So if you're trying to come off dip or anything like that, you have to cut. These are brand new cans. Artisan Grange help you out. Ooh, look at you with your knife. I've seen you sitting over there with that today.
I thought I might need it.
Artisan Grange is a company started when a group of former tobacco dippers wanted a dip alternative that actually tasted like tobacco. So they decided to make one on one condition. It supports American farmers. No matter what your taste, hemp dip satisfies without tobacco, nicotine, or fake fillers. Each pouch contains 5 milligrams of full spectrum CBD from the hemp. The community of hemp dippers who have switched from tobacco and other alternatives is a proud group of dippers who have pride in dipping as a simple pleasure again. One you can do because you want to, not because you have to, and supporting the American tradition of farm quality. So, thank you, Artisan Grange, for sending us some of this product. You gotten in there yet?
I can't get in.
What is, man? You can tell you're from the West Coast over here in Texas.
The West Coast. The Southwest Coast.
It smells good. Smells like a wintergreen.
Did you get one?
Yeah, it tastes pretty good.
That's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, thank you, Artisan Grange, once again for supporting 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway.
Thank you, Artisan Grange. I don't know why they wouldn't let us in the
Doing
next
all the right
night.
things.
No, well, honestly, I mean, Godfather got up on stage with the band and is singing. Everybody's having fun. I don't understand why they wouldn't let us in the next night. I'm serious. I mean, because we didn't do anything. You know, we didn't pick on anybody. We didn't start any fights. We didn't.
You've claimed that it was just a fun night.
Yeah. I mean, all of our nights were like that. We never ever fought, got in a fight
And
with
got in
anybody.
trouble because we went to the right places.
We went to the right places. We treated people the right way, and we never had problems with anybody.
That's true. We never had any.
No. I mean, there's some.
I do got to tell a story about this.
Uh-oh. Maybe
I
time
think
for a
we're
break.
in Ohio, and the bar was packed at our hotel. And Dustin got into it with somebody, and Spicoli was there. And the
Yes.
pool table,
Yeah.
you cannot move in there. So Dustin gets into it with some guy. Spicoli ends up hitting a girl. And me and him think at the same time when all this goes down, we both grab pool balls.
Smart move.
Both of us grab pool balls, and we're getting them apart. And but he tells Spicoli to stand down. He said, "Stand down."
So I think I think all the BSK had just got there.
Yeah, we hadn't been there 15 minutes.
We had been there. We had just rolled in from where we were at, and we came in. The bar is still jumping at the hotel we were staying
Yeah.
at, and then all this breaks loose, right? And now, where they were outnumbered, now the tide has turned now, and Spicoli's, I think that was what he was looking at. Is like, oh man, I got backup now. So, yeah, he starts running it. That's another one. Gosh dang it.
You know.
And yeah.
Just put $1,000 in there and cover yourself for.
I should part before I start the episode. Just put $1,000 in, and
Just easier.
so anyway, yeah, he had ended up hitting a girl, and it was like volatile. Like it was really there was a lot of it could have got really nasty really quick, and I did. I told him, I was like, because he's flapping his gums, and I was like, stand down, dude, just shut up. And he's thinking, oh, he's got backup, and he kept it up, man. And I slapped the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Right on the pool table. I was like, whack. And his eyes went, and I was like, dude, stand the F down. Yeah. This is a serious situation here. We could have got, we were completely surrounded.
Yeah.
Well, we could have got stabbed, shot. I mean, it was,
dear God.
They didn't appreciate that's because we always, I mean, we were quite the force anyway. I mean, there was a bunch, you'd have to be really looking for trouble to really want to start trouble with that roster. But we didn't carry ourselves in a way, I mean, we carried ourselves in a way that we were friendly, but also don't do something stupid that you're going to regret.
Yeah.
And that's the way we carried ourselves. We had a great time. We tipped, we bought booze, but man, that had potential to be a really bad thing. And
well, rumor has it, Mark Canterbury, Henry, that you were the fastest member of BSK.
Whoa.
I heard that you went to one side of Germany and got back in time for the car ride home. Faster than
that was an interesting night.
How can we tell that? How can we tell that story? Okay, I can tell it. I can tell it. So we're very seldom in Europe did we go out. Like there were a few places. I think this was Hamburg, where the nightlife was.
Real quick, do you know who was standing at the bar when we walked in?
Was
Hitman.
Brett was
by
there.
himself.
Brett,
and we were calling him Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf, yep. He would go out by himself.
Yes.
But so we go to this bar. We're there for a few hours, I would imagine. And Mark comes up, and it's like 20 minutes, probably till last call. 20 minutes, maybe 30. I'll give him 30. I'll give him 30. Mark comes up. Me and Bear are at the bar, and he goes, "Hey, I gotta run back to the hotel and take care of something real quick." And I'm like, "Dude," I said, "they're shutting this place down in 30 minutes." I said, "We're going somewhere else. We're not going back to the hotel after this. We're going to an after hours place." And he's like, No, I got it. I'll be back. I'm like, "Mark," I said, "you got to get a cab, go to the hotel, do whatever you have to do, and then come back." I said, "There's no way. You're not going to make it, and you're not going to know where we're at." And it's like talking, it was like talking to a teenage kid. Like there was nothing that I could tell him. And he goes, "No, I can do it. I can come back. I'll be back." I was like, "All right, if we're gone," I said, "this is the name of the place we're going. I don't know the address. This is the name of the place." And I did not expect to see him back. So sure enough, it's about 3 minutes before they turn the lights on in this joint. And here he comes. That big silly smile that he has on his face. Grin. He has it on his face. I'm like, son of a gun. Not only did he go back to the hotel and take care of what he had to take care of at the hotel, he brought back a brick of hash. I was like, how on earth do you do? And I'm telling you, the hotel was not close to where we were at. I don't know how you did it to this day. I mean, you must have caught every light.
Hercules.
It was. I was like, there's no way that he came back, and then came back with that, which Godfather was thrilled. Yes, he was happy. "You're a good man, Hog. You're a good man. Don't listen to him. He's a party pooper. You're a good man."
Best member BSK ever.
Oh gosh. I was like the dad. Like I had to like always watch everybody,
Yeah.
and especially the later it got. This one, oh my gosh, I knew when he'd had enough. He'd be loving up on you, hugging you,
Kissing you.
oh, I love you, man.
He asked me, he said, did Henry kiss you last night? No, no kiss.
It's a wonder with that cigar.
It's funny how we were kidding about it earlier about how diverse the group was.
Yeah.
Like everybody had like their own particular personality.
Music genre.
Yeah, I mean, we had country, we had rock, we had rap, we had gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
It was just such a mix of people that, like, I've never had that many people like that bonded together so tightly.
Yeah.
And it sounds kind of cliche, but like, I knew if anything was to ever happen, like the guys that were there in that group with me either had my back or would do whatever they could.
Yeah.
I mean, and that didn't matter who you were in the group, that you knew that you had.
I think everybody felt that way, though. You know, it's a
Yeah.
good feeling to know.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
my brother's got me.
Yeah.
And we've had to do that sometimes. you
And that's a
know.
big group. You think about having, you know, on just about every night, anywhere from 6 to 9 guys. I mean, depending
Yeah.
on where you were in your career. But like, I just think about being in the military. There's like 2 other guys that we always were together. There's 3 of us, and having
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 guys
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can all be on the same page.
Because now we're not with our families. I mean,
We spent more
were
time with each.
family,
Yeah,
you
we
know?
spent more time together than we did with our families. Back
But what I
then.
liked about our group is, like, we would help each other with our careers. Mm-hmm. You know, matches or big matches. You know, you get together and get with Godfather, and then you start talking about
Getting real
matches.
creative, right?
Really come up with matches.
Maybe that's what I should have done. Maybe I should have done more of that. Maybe my matches might have been a little more creative.
So you're pretty creative.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, you look at BSK, and I mean, you just think about the guys that were, you know, what y'all were doing in your career.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
dang. There's some brass in there.
And it was fun doing it with them guys, just being their friends or being part of it, you know, and trying to come up with different little things to help each other out. Is the way I felt.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like, you know, we would carry ourselves like everybody at one point or another has got something going on at home that
Yeah.
you come back out on the road, your boys pick you up and make sure that you're doing all right. And
Well, you know very well we helped each other with stuff even out of the wrestling business.
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, okay, for me, most of the people that are watching or listening to this, we go out to eat or go to the bar after work and stuff. What do you naturally do? You sit around and talk about work while you're sitting there with your coworkers, and they can be
Yeah.
your friends and everything else. Were y'all doing that as well? I mean, when y'all would get done and you go sit at the bar, and
We
you're,
would mix it up because our bars were unique.
Yes, they were very unique.
We'd find a dark corner, and that's where we'd go. With
We'd
our
huddle
backs
up.
to the walls.
Yep, your back's always got to be
Always
to the
gotta
wall.
be to the wall.
And
Assessing stuff.
yeah, you always got to know where your exits are and the front door where the front door is, and don't ever get outflanked. Just yeah, that's
but
just the
were
way
y'all
it was.
talking about matches? Were y'all talking about, you know, I mean, did you ever think about this or you thought about
More
that?
so, I think we talk more about that like in the car rides, like
Yeah.
during the day, because a lot of times we would stay over, then we would drive the next day, and that's usually when your creative process. At
Yeah.
night, we were unwinding, we were
Yeah.
cutting
chilling,
loose and having a good time and
Yeah.
taking in the scenery.
taking in the scenery and doing all that. So, and then the first part of those drives and the next day were usually hungover. but-
Going over, going over the night before.
Yeah. What happened? How did I end up there with underwear on my head? I've told the story. I think it was we were in South Charleston, and we were at this is back when everybody would still come to the bar like after TV.
Yeah.
And I was up at the bar hanging out, and I'm looking over at you.
The TV, were we at the TV hotel?
We were in the TV hotel bar, but y'all were staying across the street.
The road. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And I looked over, and I see you're starting to. Now Vince, at this point, Vince would still come out, and he would come to the bar.
Yeah.
And I can see you over there.
Half the office was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody, and there's a ton of stooges. So I see the big man his head starting to dip. I'm like, son of a gun. Right. So I go over there and I get him. I was like, come on, Mark. Of course, Mark gets inebriated or he's feeling right. He can't help himself. He's just a lover.
Lovey-dovey.
He all lovey-dovey. So I'm trying to help this big 315-pound human being up, right? And I'm grabbing him. Hey, man, I love you, man.
Kissing him on the cheek.
Yeah, I know, Mark. I know. It's like Weekend at Bernie's. Like I'm trying to get in. I'm like, what room are you in? I'm in 210. I'm like 210, and I'm trying to figure out. He goes, at the Holiday Inn. I was like, the Holiday Inn? That's across the street. He goes, I know. That's where I'm staying. Oh gosh! And now I got a Weekend at Bernie's him out of the bar without anybody seeing really what's going on here, and then got to get him to the car, and he's a big thick dude, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hold him up against the car as I get the passenger door open. You got to have a key then. Right? We didn't have a fob that you could push, right? So I'm trying to put the key in, open the door, get the door open, keep him off of me so he's not making out with me, get him in the car, get him closed, drive across the street, all the same thing, getting out, get him up like a fireman has to carry the body. Got him, trying to hold him up against the hotel wall, get in the hotel room, drag him, and then throw him on the bed. All right, completely drenched in sweat at this point, and him only every fourth, maybe eighth word is even you can even make out at this point. It's just, love you, man. So I've got him on the bed, and I figure, dude, he's hammered. So I make sure I turn him. I'm having to turn him, and every time I turn him, he's trying to hug me. So in case he got sick or something, I didn't want him to choke or anything. I want to make sure he was safe. So anyway, I'm like, wow, I got a towel. I dry my face off, and I look back at him. He's gone. So go across, get in my car, drive back across the street, walk into the bar, kind of survey the situation. Everybody's still there, except now this one.
There's Pig.
There's Tex over there. Now he's got the hibby shakes. He did like, I'm like, mother. So I do the exact same thing again. I'll completely, step for step, carry him out, right? Get him to the car.
Chewed bubble gum.
So I get, so I'm handling about 330 pounds of chewed bubble gum. And finally, I get to the hotel, the same thing. Got him propped up against the wall. Get the door unlocked. Drag him in, and then it's like kind of I sling him onto the bed. Now I'm kind of pissed at this point because they've basically just ruined my night.
Surprise!
So he's laying on the bed with like the edge of the bed like mid shin. It had to have been so uncomfortable. Like I was like, you deserve that. I'm just gonna leave you like that, right? So then I look over to check on Mark, right? And sure enough, right between the two beds, there's a big giant pile of puke where he'd puked. And right in the middle of that big old pile of puke is this damn partial.
My two teepuses.
His
looking up at it.
Look like somebody mauled Bugs Bunny. I got two big teeth sitting in this big pile of vomit, and I'm like, no, man, I'm not that good a friend.
Mark, you like to work out?
Yeah, I love to work out.
Yeah. So, a lot of times when you work out, one of the probably the scariest things you could do is potentially rip all the skin off of your finger
Yeah.
from your wedding ring. So
Yes, I've done that, actually.
really,
Yeah. Getting it caught or getting the weight. Yes.
oh yeah, that happens. So that's why we've teamed up with QALO. Get them wedding rings. You want to go to the gym and still be fully committed to your significant other?
Yes, sir.
Because I
do.
mean, I walk in the gym just like this.
Like hey.
Hey,
I mean, yeah.
that's essentially what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
my gym's at my house, but I'm still.
And you still got to do it
I
there.
still got to do it there.
My God. Well, QALO, they want to ask you this. Are you an active person who loves to stay on the move but still wants to show your commitment? I know I am. Then you need a QALO silicone ring. QALO rings are designed for those who live life to the fullest. Whether you're hitting the gym, hiking up mountains, or just need a comfortable alternative to traditional metal rings. Made from the high-quality, durable silicone, QALO rings are not only stylish but also safe and comfortable to wear in any activity.
Absolutely.
Show your commitment without compromising on comfort. Our wives like that part, that commitment. Check out QALO Rings today and embrace your adventure with confidence. We're going to hook people up too. Click on the link in the description and use our code Undertaker25.
That's it, baby. That's the year of the Undertaker.
The year of the Undertaker. Undertaker 25. QALO, thank you so much for supporting 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway.
We greatly appreciate it. It's like, gosh, dang it. And he's out, like snoring at this point, and I'm cutting a promo on him, cutting a promo on both of them. They're both unconscious. I did finally go get a rag or something and pluck his teeth out and wash them off. Put them in a
That's
Good
love.
friend.
That's
love.
That is, yeah.
That's love.
Then I do all that. I go back to the bar. All the lights are on. It's shut down. Everybody's gone. I'm like,
Just good
Kept us
friendship.
safe.
typical.
Just good friendship.
safe.
Yeah, typical night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Something that you were notorious for was taking pictures.
I was just getting ready to say, I'm the nerd that took all the pictures.
Thank goodness we wouldn't have any.
And I have a big collection of pictures.
Well,
Yeah.
we didn't have cell phones right
Yeah.
back for most of that.
Yeah.
Yoko and I eventually got the big brick phones.
We had Godfather's pagers from Vegas.
Yes, we had lots of pagers. He'd bring us pagers. We had
Yeah, I love the pictures. One of my favorite pictures is not his, but it's mine. We're doing the India, raising money for AIDS in India. You remember that?
I do remember going to India.
The last night, he is sitting there, and he is so sick. And he's looking at me, and he's like this. And I snap a picture, and I thought he was going to freaking kill me. If looks could have killed, I would not be here today.
That was back when I still put all the makeup on and everything. It looked like I had a full mask on. I didn't have any. I was so pale and
Yeah,
pasty.
he had nothing on. I'll have to send you that picture though. But
that was bad.
Yeah.
That was I remember that was the outdoor stadium, the outdoor
Gandhi Arena.
Yeah.
Outdoor Gandhi Arena.
And what they had done is they sold the tickets, and then somebody came and printed more tickets. So they were crawling from the outside in. They were trying to crawl
Over
in.
100,000 people in this outdoor arena.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I wrestled Yoko that night, and it was so weird. It was the ring, and it had 4 posts with the stadium lights pointing right in the ring. So it was hot as hell, and you couldn't really see the people out there. But when you got out of the ring, it was packed. But Yoko was selling the bugs that were flying around because we had never seen. You know,
Like the bugs.
there's bugs this big, and I was like, Yoko, what is that? And one lands on him. Oh my God! He turned into a little.
Get it off! Get it off me! Get it off me!
He goes, what the hell?
That's so funny.
The good
Was
old
that the
days.
biggest crowd you ever performed in front of?
Oh no! Well, that San Antonio was
San Antonio was big.
160 some thousand.
San Antonio? 160.
Where were you at in
The
San
Alamo
Antonio?
Dome? No, the Alamo Dome.
The Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
I don't think it held 160. It doesn't hold 100. It held a lot.
I thought there was a record broke and there was a picture made in Texas.
Yeah, 100. I mean,
I'm gonna
That's
have
in
to
the
a lot of
Alamo
people.
Dome, you could probably, if you, with the ring in the middle and
Well, the ring was in the middle.
Yeah,
and it
put
looked
the
like
people-
Well, we only had
people were
100
like that tall.
We only had 110 at Texas Stadium, at the new Texas Stadium, AT&T Stadium. But I know which one you're talking about because I wrestled Vader there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, back then they would, now it's such a production for the entrance that they cut out so many seats versus I would imagine back then.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't as
much-
elaborate.
Yeah, it wasn't elaborate. So you had more opportunities for
It's going to
seats.
be a homework plan.
Especially internationally too.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I mean, you get a couple lights and a curtain, you're on your way.
Yeah.
It worked, right? You didn't need all the flashy
South
stuff.
Africa was good.
Oh yes, South Africa was good.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Where was your favorite place to wrestle though, around the country and stuff, or around the globe really?
Where would that be, Mark?
Germany.
Germany.
Yeah. Germany holds a lot of history.
Conquered
I would
Germany.
imagine not in the ring.
Hunter said, "You now own the land and air and sea." Oh my God.
Oh, it's just different times, man. Oh, goodness gracious.
Younger days,
Yeah.
younger days.
Yeah.
yeah. You grew up though. You grew.
grew up
Grew up.
It was just a different time back then.
Yep.
Peace, love, and rock and roll, man.
Peace, love, and rock and roll.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Lord. Where did you start?
I started with George South, an Italian stallion in West Virginia, and then worked for them for a while and started going, being extra at WCW. And then worked Eric Watts, had went and worked a few people, Elegante, PN News, Ron Simmons.
Oh, you got some Elegante?
Yes.
That must have been before he followed me.
Yeah.
That was
Elegante. That's one of them.
I'm talking like
That's where he learned all of his moves.
91,
Both of them.
91.
Yeah. Well,
He's like a cat in the
90.
ring, isn't he? He's like a cat in the ring, wasn't he?
dead cat. But
that ain't very nice. He's no longer with us.
oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, buddy. But yeah, PN News, and got my start after I worked Eric Watts.
Yeah.
Eric Watts come in from Louisville, just graduated from Louisville, playing quarterback up there, and of course Cowboy and Dusty was running
Yep.
the show then, and I worked Eric at Center Stage in Atlanta, there at Peachtree. You remember old Peachtree?
Yeah, a lot of
Center Stage.
a lot of history
A lot
there.
of history there.
Yeah.
Them walls could talk.
I don't think they can.
We'd all be in jail. But yeah, worked Eric that night, and
What's it going to take to get these stories that always turn into, I can't really talk about? No, it's
You know when we
this
we,
a
when we
deathbed?
start to say something and it fades off like that, it's usually best just to leave it alone.
probably
You
for the
just-
best.
It's probably for the best. You just let that float away and not bring more attention to it.
yeah.
Matt, Bud,
I'm just,
you killing me,
hey
Smalls.
man, I got the, I'm here for the fans.
But worked Eric, and matter of fact, that night they come and said, "Hey, would you be interested in working Eric Watts, on the road some?" And I said, "Yeah." And Jody, I said, "When?" Jody Hamilton said, "Can you go now this week?" So I went with George and Stow for TV. All I had was what I made that night, my clothes I had on, and my gear bag. So Arn Anderson and Italian Stallions giving me clothes to take on the road, and I jump in the car with Arn for 2 nights. and work Eric every night at a house show, and didn't get in the car with Harley Race driving, Hercules Hernandez in the right seat, me behind Harley,
Handing
and
beers.
Barbarian here.
Whew, brother.
And I'm scared shitless.
You should be.
I am.
There ain't no easy ticket anywhere on that car.
And there's a cooler in the back
It's
full of beer.
you're responsible for having
I'm
open.
responsible. So Harley makes it clear real quick. He's driving. We're in Texas. Flat, we're flying. He goes, "Kid, when you hear this, I want to hear." And I missed the first one. Oh,
Oh,
I didn't miss any more.
He pulled over.
He was about ready to. He said, "Kid." So I got it and just kept him going, and we made it to the hotel that night. But
There's a lot of people have that very story that, yeah, if you sat in the back and that was your job.
I was right behind him. He was driving. We were running 80 on them flat roads in Texas. I forget where exactly we were at, but he'd roll that window down about halfway, and you hear that. And by God, in about 5 seconds, he better hear a psh, and you hand it to him.
How many would he run through in a night driving like that?
Depends how far the trip was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like energy drink.
Yeah, yeah, it was like water. He'd do 6 or 8,
Okay.
you know, but
That's not bad.
depending on how far we.
It was only a 10-minute. It was only a 10-mile trip.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes.
He's going from Dallas to Fort Worth. Drink 8 beers
He got at least 8 in him. Oh,
on a 15-minute drive.
what's your finish, kid? That was hard. I'll move. My hip was already bad in WCW, and we went to St. Louis for WCW, and Harley comes down to the show. He wasn't working there at the time, and he saw me come in the back door, and I was limping. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to work. And he goes, "Kid, what's the matter?" I was like, "Mr. Race," I said, my hips out. And he goes, "Lay down on this table." I'm like, "No, I went to the chiropractor today, and they adjusted me. It's just not the way I'm going to adjust you." You just didn't tell Harley no twice. So I'm lay on this table, and he grabs my foot, and he's "Relax, kid." And I'm thinking, you relax. Harley Race doesn't have your foot. He's got my foot. And he's making these big circles with my foot. And finally, he pushes it in, and it sounded like a cannon going off. I'll be dang if I didn't. I was able to go and work. As soon as the match was over, I couldn't walk again. But I was able to get through that match, and that was happened to be the last match on that loop. So, yeah, it sounded like, man, it was. I was like,
He was a very knowledgeable guy on a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Wasn't he?
oh, absolutely,
I think so.
Was he on that Mount Rushmore of just tough guys?
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd have to be.
I seen him and Scott Norton when I was in WCW. We were in Louisiana at a hotel bar that's inside the hotel, and they got a pool in there. It looks very tropical. I can't remember exactly where it was, but he bent, and I just seen Scott Norton a few months ago. He bent Scott Norton's ring on his finger when they were doing a squeeze contest. Scott still talks about it. He remembers it. He remembers the hotel and everything.
Yeah, you don't forget things like that.
Yeah. So, but Harley was tough.
Yeah, Harley was a
Does
real
he
deal.
work in today's product though? I mean, with his look and everything else, like I just feel like it wouldn't.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to say with what today and Harley's generation. Harley knew how to tell a story.
Yeah.
I think it applies, but I don't know if our fan base now has the patience
Yeah. to read the story.
To read the story and to let the story, like, I don't know that, like, I could work at this in this day and age, because it took me a while to set the table before I got into the payoff of the story.
Yeah.
Where I think there a lot of the fans now are conditioned to instant gratification, and the guys doing just crazy stuff right out of the get go and kicking out and doing all these different things. Again, that's one of those reasons why I like Gunther so much.
Yeah.
He's kind of a throwback and doesn't throw everything at you.
You just look at Harley though, and that his look at first just doesn't put him over. You know what I mean? Like, like you look at Drew McIntyre today, or a Randy Orton or something like that, and it's like,
would you want somebody like Harley backing you in a bar, or somebody nowadays?
I would take Harley.
Oh yeah,
And give me a little bit. Give me Harley. Give me a little haiku. That'd be good. A little barbarian. Yeah. The only person Barbarian's afraid of is his wife.
Mama.
Yeah.
Oh really?
That's it.
I love that story about him and Mama.
So, okay, Barbarian, Haku, and Harley. If they're in a bar fight, who walks out?
Bro,
still standing,
dude. I will never bet against. I'd never bet against Haku, but Harley would be right there.
Really?
Yeah.
And with them guys, them old school guys, it would have to be to the finish.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about fish hooking and eye gouging and biting noses off and everything.
Somebody's going to be laying down out.
Yeah, it's a yeah. Yeah. Be good. That'd be good. We should run a tournament. See who we think the toughest of the tough is.
We could do a bracket.
We
could do a bracket, and we can list these people off, and then let the fans vote.
There's different strengths for different people.
Yeah.
That'd get a lot of heat.
Huh?
We get a lot of heat that way from the boys. Come here, man. I could have took him. He killed you. Are you kidding me?
Tied you up in a press.
Tied you up in a knot. Made you like it.
And I think, to really be honest, this can't be a fan's vote. We'd have to get the guys that really know.
Fans wouldn't know a thing. Yeah, we'd have to have. Yeah. We would have to get the talent. But most of the talent's so young now that they don't know anything about.
Well, maybe you can open up your Rolodex, and we can do an anonymous. It's like a Heisman voting, committee. Maybe there's about 20 guys you could submit this to and let them send it back with it filled out. And
too much work.
Too much work. We'll let somebody
I
else
don't really
do it.
care. I don't really care enough. It was good. It was a good 5 minutes of talking, but I don't really care that
I really
much.
want to go. This feels like it's going to be a lot of. It's going to be a little bit too much to do here.
It's one thing just to get me here, Matt. I'm not going to go through all that.
Who's the toughest guy you've been in the ring with?
He's one of them. I enjoyed my matches. I was just talking about
I didn't say stiff.
this.
I said toughest.
Really?
Of course, Barbarian.
I just heard. Barbarian?
Yeah. Scott Norton, I always thought was pretty tough.
Strong.
But my matches, like with big guys, love working Vader.
Vader can
And
go.
him. And Kevin Nash. Yeah, the bigger guy, I enjoyed that. I thought Vader was pretty tough, but yeah.
You just like big guys so you could knock the crap out of them and they wouldn't
I
cry
like
too much
working
about
'cause
it.
I like getting hit hard, and I like hitting hard. So,
No, we're talking about in the ring.
and Bradshaw, of course. Bradshaw.
Oh, Brad, yeah. How could you not?
When we had that match in New York that night,
They beat the living snot out of each other.
he gave me the superplex off. We got back and they got on it. Why'd you give him a damn superplex? We're both 300 plus.
Now it's common, but now back then, it's like, why on earth would you give that big man?
And then we called double clothesline. Double crowbars.
Double crowbars doing a double clothesline. Y'all thinking y'all Luthez all of a sudden? Oh, jeez.
Is the Hogpen match with Triple H the Is that the match that you hang your hat on?
Yeah. I just think it told people that we were real. We wasn't going
For real, yeah.
That ha-ha shit was thrown out. We wanted to, Vince, we had like, I don't know, 30-some minutes from start to finish, but he said, y'all come up with it. And me and Hunter just looked at each other, so we went out and just sort of talked and went over some stuff, and turned out pretty damn good, I think.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
That's why I like to work with. I love working with Hunter because you didn't sit down and talk about a whole lot.
Yeah.
You didn't come up with some like where you wanted to go.
And we were married for like 6 months. You know, we did all those overseas tours, the Germanys. We did all that, and bless his heart, you know, we washed our shit out every night. We'd have to hang it in the hotel, and hopefully it would dry. But yeah, he got slopped every night. He got clean slops.
Okay.
It was only one person that got a dirty slopping.
Is there any clouds out today, or is it completely sunny outside?
I think it's pretty sunny outside today. Yeah.
Cornet.
And I mean, at least we get to see the sun too, you know.
Yeah.
It took a minute. It took a minute to work our ways around it.
Me and
We
Phineas
actually get to see the light of day.
She gets these.
Yeah.
Me and Phineas signed the triple sign of the magazine cover of Slopping Her. She had signed it, and I've only seen 2, and we signed it in Charlotte last month.
Oh yeah.
So a triple signing.
That,
But I was told the guy that I said, is there any, one guy said he'd get a hold of her. I said, I'll put money on her books if she'll sign one that me and him already signed.
wait, did she die?
No.
She's in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, put money on her books.
Get some honey buns,
So she can get some
ramen.
honey
Oh my
buns.
God.
Get some honey buns, some ramen, and whatnot, some smokes.
3-box cigarettes. What the?
That's why I said we actually get to see the sun. She doesn't get to see the light of day.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Wake up. I need to wake up. Join the conversation.
Get some first form, anybody.
Man, I need to wake up and get in the middle of this conversation.
Big Daddy getting up in here.
Not enough, evidently.
You're gonna buy honey buns for Sonny for an autograph.
Hell yeah, that's
She's probably done less for.
huh? Oh yeah.
Moving right along.
Oh man!
But Cornet on Vice said he explained the whole little story, and he was there, and he said there must have been 23 DNAs that night.
That's being modest.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're being, you know.
I always filled it up. You know, we come in that day, and Bruce come up, and Vince said, "Hey, you're going to slap Sonny tonight, finally." I said, "Yes." So I go make my stuff. It's about half full, you know, the metal bucket, and take it in the locker room. Hey, Sonny's getting slopped tonight. Nobody mess with this. So
You're just being nice.
I went, and we went over the match and come back. It was about that far from the top. People saying, well, I don't know. Razor and X-Pac, they took it back there. I don't know. Maybe they were just moving it. And all the boys were dipping, and it was a cute night.
It was a cute little night.
She had her little shorts on. She had her cowboy boots on. And they stuck way out. So
When
Phineas dumped that stuff over, it just filled them little cowboy boots up.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, you got.
And we got death threats over that.
You did.
Yeah, there was people wanting to kill us for doing that. So
She probably had some fans.
Yeah, it was probably her.
she never knew for years. The boys kept that quiet. We were just talking about that.
Oh, jeez.
I figured she'd be familiar with some of it. Wow,
brother.
Hey,
He is on fire.
It's a tough room, man. You guys are a little harsh.
Mr. Good Guy over there. Yeah, Mr. Babyface.
Babyface.
Yeah,
He's
Mr.
being a
Babyface.
babyface.
Yeah. You got time to stick around to answer some questions that the fans submitted?
Sure, man. Whatever y'all want to do.
I see you got some stuff back here.
Yeah, I got.
What you got back here?
I brought
Did you bring
you.
did you bring a present?
Just little things. Some a shirt for my son. He wanted to send to you guys. And then I put just some history pictures of the BSK.
Oh, baby.
And then some little trinkets down in there.
Ooh. Ooh, that's straight thug. Look at that.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh, this is my retirement right here.
Yeah.
We're absolutely
I'll give
zero
you some
changed.
pictures too.
Yeah,
if you
I said-
wanted them.
This is right here is the night that changed the wrestling business.
The most infamous picture in wrestling history.
So okay, this picture gets shared
You know,
everywhere.
it was years before. This is my camera, the nerd that took the picture. You know who took this picture? I know you remember.
Yeah.
George the Animal Steel took this picture.
Wow.
So there was about 6 of us that had this picture. And for years, I mean, at least 10 years, this picture never made it out. And then finally it went out on
Somebody, I bet Paul
Internet
did it.
and-
Paul probably
It's
did
all over the internet. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
used and brought up
but that's my
so
picture,
many
man. I
times.
made with that little cheap ass camera. But I thought you'd appreciate it. I didn't know
Yeah,
if you
dude.
had them, man.
I don't have a copy of that. Any of these
and I
actually.
figured you'd like that one. Old Moody, I miss him.
Yeah.
Him and Yoko were 2 hard ones for me, man.
Yeah, those hit hard. That bottle of Jack stayed on that bust, didn't it?
Yeah, it's in 2 of them pictures. I got my hand on one of them.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're a nerd.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't have any of this if it wasn't.
when we were in Tennessee together a little while back, when they opened the 9 Line, man, we were talking. I got so many pictures, it's crazy. Just the random boys like
Yeah.
Spicoli, Max Payne, Sid, Arn, Pillman, all the boys.
Dang.
Just crazy.
That's good. I don't know. I'm glad you had the presence of mind.
Yeah.
Because I could have cared less. Now I wish,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have them because now I want them. Then I could care
I
less
told him he
about
needs
it.
to put a book together of just all these pictures. You know,
Did you get
for
your
pic-
shirt?
Oh yeah, I've got it right
Did
here.
you get your peanuts?
Oh yeah, we got peanuts in here. Snacks.
Peanuts?
Yeah, man. My
Snacks.
boy from Kennesaw, Georgia, Patriot Depot.
Liberal tears?
Liberal tears, freedom, Chipotle, honey, peanuts.
They are good.
Mark, we got a new sponsor, bud.
We got a new one?
We got a new one, and you've had this before already.
This is good, man. Give me one of those.
So that's Magic Spoon. All right. I've had this once before. When we got them as a sponsor, I started reading a little bit more about them, and I'm really excited for them to be a sponsor to a point
Absolutely.
where I'm going to pop this open.
You gonna open it up now?
And I'm going to try a little bit of it.
Check it out. 0 sugars, 4 grams net carbs, and 13 grams of protein in a cereal.
That's pretty dang good.
I'm not gonna open mine. Let me have some of this one.
You take that one home tonight and eat some cereal with the kids.
That's really good, man.
Oh yeah, it tastes really good. Good flavor. So let me tell you a little bit about Magic Spoon.
Give me a little bit more because this is really good.
Okay, as a kid, we'd loved eating cereal, right? Mm-hmm. But as an adult, I don't want all that sugar. And most cereals don't give me the protein I need. Then recently, we hooked up with Magic Spoon, a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like our childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with all of the protein. Macros. Every serving of Magic Spoon has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about eating cereal again. The flavor options. We're sitting here eating the fruity one right now.
Yep.
You've got
I got
cocoa. Flavor options. They also have 10 flavors that all taste just like the cereal you loved as a kid. Their most popular are fruity, cocoa. They have a frosted. By the way, you have a peanut butter. Why we didn't get peanut butter, I don't know. But
Would ate the whole box.
oh, dude, the peanut. No, yeah, that's kryptonite for me. But there are so many more, like blueberry muffin, cinnamon roll. They got a birthday cake. They got a honey nut and a maple waffle. Magic Spoon makes it so easy for us to get more protein when you're too busy or tired to cook. Come home, pour your bowl of cereal.
Breakfast for dinner.
We're giving these folks a deal too. You can get $5 off your next order of delicious cereal at magicspoon.com/6feet. Or look for Magic Spoon in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/6feet for $5 off. Magic Spoon. Hold on to the dream.
I like that. That's a nice little catchphrase.
Yeah. Well, Henry, while Taker's over making his concoction, tell us about BSK Organics real quick before we go into our Patreon section.
BSK Organics is a little thing me and a guy, Tom, started wanting to start some BSK crew chews. And so it's good, clean medicine, all organic. It's doing good.
Yeah.
So hopefully things come around.
You got a website?
Yeah, BSK Organics.
BSKOrganics.com.
Yep.
People can order the products.
Once it gets going,
Yeah.
still in transition, so.
Well, Mark Canterbury, Mr. Henry Godwin, we appreciate you coming by today. We're going to go into our Q&A session with some fans over on Patreon. But for everyone that is listening or watching, if you want to be a part of the Q&A, if you want to be able to get a little bit more extra content, go over to our Patreon channel. That's 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. But until next time, we want to say thank you to Happy Dab, First Phorm.
Tasty.
Yeah, that's good stuff. DraftKings, our favorite sponsor there. Old DraftKings, love them. Artisan Grange, Blue Chew, steroids for your wiener.
Should be a shirt.
That's right.
It's going to be a shirt.
We gotta get our guests some product.
We do. We get a little goodie bags from some of our sponsors. That'd be good. But nope, appreciate all of our sponsors. Thank y'all very much. If you want some extra content, head over to Patreon. That's where we're going right now.